Hello, Painting with a Purpose friends. Today we're going to paint this cute whimsical tree. The colors that you will need are white, a dark blue, red, yellow, 2 different shades of green, a teal, and some black. You will need your 2-inch brush and a small round brush. My kitty cat wants to help. You will also need your fingers. We're going to be finger painting the majority of this today. So grab a damp, wet cloth so that you can wipe your fingers in between. To get started, we're just going to paint the whole entire canvas white. Here, I'm just going to take a little bit of blue and kind of mix that blue in on the top half of my canvas. It's actually going to be about 3/4. So probably like right here. Alright, now that we have that finished, you are finished with your 2-inch brush. You could put that in your water bucket. Next, we are finger painting. And we will start with the sky. So, to do this kind of finger painting, you're going to need your index finger and your middle finger, so your first 2 fingers. And we're just going to dip a little bit in the blue and then a lot in the white. So I've scooped it. It's really thick, and then you're just going to do some sky swirls. Like wind swirls. Alright, now that we have the background, it is chunky and thick on your canvas. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is not smooth, and that's what we want. We want it thick. I'm going to wipe my fingers off, and we are going to do the bottom, the snow. And for this part, you're going to need your teal color. That teal color, and we're just going to come in here and make some hills. Right, now that you have your snowy hills and your whimsical background, because the paint is so thick it's going to take a while to dry, so we're going to let this dry and then we will start on our Christmas tree. Okay, now that we have finished our fun finger painting sky and snow, we are going to do our finger painting Christmas tree. But first you're going to take your smaller flat brush in your light green. These are the colors that you're going to be needing for the tree. Light green, dark green, white, yellow, brown, and black. And you're just going to take and you're going to start with a kind of whimsical shape triangle. So just above the snow line, I'm going to kind of scoot down and then go back up. There's the bottom line of my triangle, and then you don't want to go too high because you want to have room for your star. So I'm going to come down, kind of go like this, and then like this. And then I'm just going to fill this in with that lime green. Alright, now that you have a thin coat of the light green, you're finished with your medium brush. You can just stick that in the water. And we're going to be using our two fingers, your index finger and your middle finger again, to paint with. And you're going to take and dip it in the dark green, and then a little bit in the light green. And you're going to start down here at one of the corners, and you're just going to do a swirl. And you're going to do that again. And you're just going to do this all the way across the bottom. These little swirls. And you're going to keep working your way up at an angle with your swirls so that it comes to a point. Just want some real defined swirls, so I'm just going to kind of go back, kind of define them. And then these lighter ones down here, I'm going to add a little bit darker green. I don't want it blended, I want to be able to see the two different shades of green. Alright, now that you are finished with your tree, you can wipe your fingers off. I'm going to kind of rinse them in my water and wipe them with my rag. And then with your small round brush, we are going to add a tree trunk. Kind of right here. Just like so. Rinse that brown off. And with your dark green, we're just going to kind of go back in here and define some of this edge, because we want it to be more of a curved edge, not so much straight across. So I'm just kind of adding on to the bottom of those spirals just to kind of give it a little more definition. So it just kind of goes with those spirals. And it's much easier to define an edge with a paintbrush than with your fingers. We're going to do that defined edge all the way up the tree. Now we just have to wait for this to dry, and it's probably going to take a while because the paint is so thick. Now that my tree is mostly dry, it's not completely dry, but I can start adding some of my detail with my white and black and your small round brush. So we're just going to add some highlights and some shadows with our white and black throughout our tree. And it's just kind of going along with the curve of the spiral. So I'm going to do some white here, some white here, maybe under here, and it kind of spirals in. There's really no rhyme or reason as to you doing any, with your white. It's completely up to you where you put your white. Right, now that we've added our white, wipe that off, and then we're going to go back and add some of our black. Not as much black as we added white, but a little bit. So maybe I'm going to put some black down here, and down here. We're going to add our star up here to the top. You can do so many different things with your star. You can use regular yellow paint. You can use the gold metallic paint that I love so much. You can paint it yellow or gold, and then once everything is completely dry, you can paint your star with glue and glitter it. So many possibilities. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with and create. I'll do mine yellow. And you're just going to kind of straddle the points of the star over the top of the tree. So you're like making an upside down letter V. And then you're going to come straight across just above that. And you're going to come down at the top at an angle. My star is so big it runs right off the canvas. You guys can see that. It's kind of in the shadow. There we go. And then you're just going to come down from these into those points. So down at an angle and then back out at an angle. This will give you a basic star outline, and then once you paint it in, you can it's kind of a funky fun star, just because we kind of make it fit on top of the tree. you can fix it better as you're filling it in. My star is huge. I have a nice big star that takes up the whole tree, which makes it super fun. Last but not least, we have to add our ornaments. They can be ornaments, or you can think of them as like red holly berries. But you're just going to need red and your index finger. More finger painting. So much fun to play in the paint. And you don't need a lot, just a little bit on the tip of your finger. And wherever you want a holly berry, it's going to kind of stamp and rub it a little bit. You can add as many red holly berries or ornaments as you want, or as little as you want. This is a fun thing for grandparents, and you have your kids use their fingerprints for the ornaments. Grandparents love it. I know my mom loves anything that has her grandkids' handprints on it. Now I'm just going to kind of clean up these circles with my round brush. I don't want them perfectly cleaned up. And if you do choose to use your child's fingerprints, obviously you would not, you just leave them how they were. Alright guys, there is a quick, easy, fun, whimsical Christmas tree. I cannot wait to see how your alls turn out. Happy painting!